This was a poem that came out of visiting a former student when she was in hospice. It's called Hospice. In the last days, your eyes kept drifting over my shoulder, tugged to the painting on the wall. Ocean, pebbled beach, eagles and gulls. Washed in coastal light, you drank salt spray into your pores, listened to the call and response of the waves as your gaze focused, unfocused, your throat too parched to speak above a whisper. Force of will isn't working, you said with a wry grin, but it still flared in the vivid jewels of your eyes, your hand gesturing for mine, how you ascended the mountain of pillows to greet me. This was close to spring, March, a month whose end you might not see. A commotion beneath the arbor along the stone path, robins in the grass, songbirds rioting in the trees. The blue-gray of the hospice trimmed in white like a seaside resort, tucked out of sight, so that I circled the block over and over, searching for you, cursing, almost crying as rain thudded from the sky as it had all winter, as if it wanted to pound us flat. I had never known how to carry the parcel of even an ordinary sadness. How I wanted to stay with you as you slid in and out of sleep, pale lips parting, damp sugar smell rising from your body. You were pulling further away, but still here, almost weightless, mortal, almost holy. I ended up reading that poem at her funeral. So I will end with a poem for Jim Wong-Chu. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that name or knew him, and he was such a fixture in Vancouver, certainly in the Asian Canadian community. He mentored, probably hundreds of young writers over the years, some of whom became really well known, like Madeline Tian. And he wasn't, he could be a difficult person, but he had the biggest heart and was so generous with himself. And so this poem is in his memory, and it's about visiting him in the hospital. So it's called Stuck, for Jim Wong-Chu in ICU. When the doors open, the smell of the hospital overpowers you. A stew of blood and urine, hand sanitizer, latex gloves, blue bags of medical waste toppling off the janitor's cart to loll at your feet. Reek of sour flesh, clogged catheters, sweat-drenched sheets and pillows. It coats your clothes, clogs the fine hairs in your nose and ears, clings to your skin when you reach for him. He's cold, clammy. His body adults in the cotton gown polka-dotted with blood, his one open eye unable to follow you around the room. You sit in what you hope is his field of vision, the one brown eye that maybe sees you, maybe not, his mind a mystery after the stroke. The nurse mistakes you for his daughter. The machine he's hooked up to blinks blood pressure and pulse rate, says he's alive. He's pale yellow and slack as a steamed pudding. Later in the cafeteria, you treat yourself to something sweet to mask the nausea that throbs in your throat at the thought of them suctioning his lungs, plunging the raw wound of his tracheotomy. A strawberry parfait, glob of custard and whipped cream so thick it clumps on your tongue, sharp spears of fruit glazed in syrup. It sticks in your throat. Thank you, everyone.